All right, a quick pros and cons video on the big Bronco here, the Ford Bronco Outer Banks. If you haven't seen my full review on this vehicle already, definitely check that out because I go into a lot of my detailed driving impressions there, as well as comparisons with the Jeep Wrangler in that video. So I'm going to leave a link to that in the description box below. But this is meant to serve as a quick kind of buyer's guide video, just so you know what this Bronco is about and what are the things I like and don't like about it. All right, let's get started. The first pro with this is obviously going to be the overall driving dynamics. I mean, compared to the Wrangler, this is night and day. There's actual confidence here. You can make casual left-hand turns, right-hand turns, and it never feels like it's going to flip over onto itself. And the steering response is also decent. It feels tight, and again, provides you with that confidence. And this is built on the Ford Ranger platform, so it is a body-on-frame vehicle. And there's a couple of things to note there. I like it because it feels like a proper rig. It feels like a tank when you drive this thing down the road. So I love those aspects, but it also doesn't beat you up. It never feels fatiguing in any way. You will feel the smaller bumps and things kind of running through the chassis. You feel very connected. In fact, it feels like an old school vehicle with some new age refinements to it, if that makes sense. So if you miss the feeling of like vehicles from the early 2000s, this kind of achieves a lot of that feel without beating you up. And there's even decent stability out on the highway. 75 miles an hour and under, you're going to be just fine. Now, I will admit, past 80 miles an hour, this is kind of a con. It will begin to feel a little bit nervous, but compared to the Wrangler, this is night and day. Huge improvement over that. Driving this thing hot-blooded isn't where it's at. You know, driving this thing at the speed limit, so satisfactory. Daily driving this is one of the most satisfactory experiences out there. So that's going to be the first pro. Now, the second pro is going to be the safety of it. In the IIHS driver's side overlap test, this did very well, and it really kind of directed the crash energy away from the occupants inside. The only reason why I didn't receive a top safety pick like the little Bronco, the Bronco Sport, is because there was some intrusion through the footwell, so you know there could be some leg damage, and also the headrests don't really perform that great, and apparently the headlights kind of suck. So that's one of the things to note there. But yes, compared to the Wrangler, dude, oh my God, I will actually put my family in this. I don't have an issue with that. Whereas the Wrangler, have you seen the driver's side overlap test for that? The thing literally flips over. I mean, that is so unacceptable. You know, I love the Wrangler. I love the way it drives despite the flawed nature of it. People who've driven Wranglers understand why so many people like it, but yeah, the safety is the biggest turnoff for me with the Wrangler, and that's a massive pro with this Bronco. Now, a con is definitely going to be the refinement overall. There's definitely a lot of wind noise in here. In fact, I think the wind noise in here is a little bit higher than the Wrangler. They're both about the same, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of wind noise coming through here. But again, that's to be expected. And that shouldn't be a huge con because it's things like that that make you connected to the vehicle. You know, the wind noise and the fact that the chassis kind of communicates with you. You know exactly what terrain you're driving over. It's these things that make it feel like an old school vehicle. And even despite that, it doesn't feel fatiguing. Now, this is the soft top, so if you were to get the hard top, I think that would help with the wind noise a little bit. But just so you know, there's always going to be a bit of noise because you can take the top off in these vehicles, the doors off. So obviously, you're going to be getting some noise with that, but I don't really see that as a massive con. Now, another con for me is definitely going to be this air recirculation button. I hate how it just continuously turns off on me. I have to keep pressing the button, which is very annoying. This isn't the only car to do that. There are other vehicles that just randomly turn off the air recirculation button. BMW does a great job of leaving that on. I don't know why other car manufacturers just continuously turn it off. I think there's a reason for it. Maybe you can let me know in the comment section below, but that's another thing to note. Another big pro to this is the drivetrain options. I love the 4-cylinder that this test model has, and the 6-cylinder is also available, a 2.7 liter EcoBoost 6-cylinder option. This 4-cylinder actually sounds decent, pulls really well, and the power goes up if you put premium fuel in these vehicles. You'll actually be able to get 300 horsepower and 315 or 330 pound-feet of torque, something like that, with the premium fuel. And it does. It almost has like a diesel-like characteristic without the rattling and everything. It actually is a smooth 4-cylinder with a decent tone to it. It's actually very satisfactory. And the 6-cylinder should be even better. And I recommend getting the 6-cylinder because engines hold better resale value than options do. So it's just going to be a more desirable Bronco in the long run. And also, I really like this 10-speed automatic transmission. really smooth downshifts when I needed to, and it doesn't do any of that stupid gear hunting. They've really improved this transmission over the years. Well done there. You can get a 7-speed manual transmission, which I think is very cool, but it's only available with the 4-cylinder trims. I haven't tried it personally, nor do I really care about it, but some off-road people might like it. I'm glad that they offer it as an option anyway. Another pro is going to be this overall interior space. It's so well built. It looks great. I like the layout of it, and most importantly, it's just built really well. It's built solid, feels well screwed together in here. There's nothing really creaking and rattling in here, and you know this is going to last a test of time. It's a more robust interior space with the material choices here. Yes, a lot of it is plastic, but it's almost built like a Toyota product, like a 2021 Tundra or like a 4Runner or something like that. It's just a durable space. I like the 12-inch infotainment system. I like these seats. Very comfortable in here. And it's just ergonomic, easy to access, easy to get used to, not a problem. Decent amount of space in the rear. This is a 5-seater. I'm 5'11". Getting in and out can be a little bit annoying, so that's a bit of a con. You do have these side steps though, which help. But yeah, once I'm back there, I can certainly fit, but it's not a plethora of space. The trunk space is decent, and you can fold down these seats 60-40. But as you see here, this is the cloth top, so if you want maximum access to the trunk, you do have to remove that little plastic windshield in the back, similar to a Wrangler, just so you know. I also really like the seating position. That's also a big pro for me because this feels way smaller to drive when you get it out on the road. It looks like a massive vehicle, and it is, but it feels small to drive, which is a great thing that they achieved here. The turning circle is also great, and there's these little grab handles, I guess, on the hood of this vehicle that help you to kind of point this vehicle, and it's just so easy. It's not intimidating. I really like that. The blind spots are really well sorted in this. The mirrors do a great job. So as a whole, I do love this vehicle, but I guess a pretty big con with this is kind of the dealerships. Hopefully you can find a good dealership to work with, because I definitely don't want anybody paying more than MSRP for this. There's so many dealerships that are taxing people out here, charging $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over sticker price. Some dealerships are even charging $150,000 for these vehicles. Just obscene. So I hope you can find a good dealership to work with, and also keep in mind the Raptor is coming. The Raptor version's already been unveiled. It's going to be starting at $69,000. That's another thing to consider. But hopefully this video helped you out in some way. If you found value with this video, please consider subscribing and liking. Thanks again, take care, and goodbye.